Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday! Today we continue playing Phoenix Wright. In the last episode, we started the case with the Canadian judge gone, which was we discovered that it's the younger brother of our judge, the usual one. And we were interrogating Iris, who has been lying over and over. In there, a dagger came out and added to the court record, but the blood on it has not been analyzed. And I think that's where we stopped. She was about to testify about the battle between Elise and Maya. I'm having a cup of coffee. Which is very good coffee. But yeah. Man, there is some news I have to share with you guys. It's nothing big or important, but let's say it was an unlucky happy coincidence. I don't know how to put it. It is weird, but something happened that I'm gonna tell you in a bit, which I was not planning for it to happen, but that happening opens an opportunity for me to do something, but it's fine. Iced cappuccino with extra sugar and choco sprinkle? Ew, that sounds awful. I don't know, but to be fair, I'm not a fan of sweets in general. I like cookies, and that's pretty much it. But that sounds... sorry, that was my phone. It wouldn't be a Charlie stream if I didn't forget to mute it. But yeah, that sounds awfully sweet. How are you doing, Josh? Welcome. Happy Saturday. Man, Snowbreak lost 75% of their player base within a few hours of the re-release. But you gobble up cookies like that blue cookie monster? No, to be fair, I eat 1 or 2 cookies from time to time during the stream. There are streams in which I eat more than 2 cookies, like 3 or 4. But outside of me eating the cookies during the stream, I don't eat any cookies. So there is at least 2 days a week in which I don't eat any cookies. And the other days that I eat cookies is only during the stream and no more than that. I'm not saying that I hate sweets, but yes, no pig has lost their freaking pig. Yeah. The thing is that there is a file going around that you can add as a mod, and it will force the game to load the uncensored files, because apparently what people is saying, I don't know where they got this from, but apparently the mods are aware, the devs are aware of this quote-unquote bug that is causing the Western version to show censored and is making it so the localization file does nothing. In theory, I don't know where they got that info, and they said that it's been quote-unquote fixed. I don't think that any of that is true, because I have not seen any official statement or anything. People are saying that there is no official statement because otherwise the feminists will attack, because everything started because of feminists and other groups attacking the game, which, to be honest, I only believe partially. I'm not completely sure that even that is real, because Snowbreak has never been like a super huge game. If they wanted to attack a game, why attack a game that is that niche? Also, so many conspiracies and theories floating around about what actually caused the initial attack. But I don't even know if this excuse of the attack is real. I really think it's only about legal stuff, because in China they have very strong laws regarding sexual content, and let's be honest, the game is borderline adult material. It's borderline adult material. Or well, at least it was. But it had many innuendos, many motions that emulated, you know, the attack on the CN side. Social media, it's at least real though. Yo, hello Bodoka, how you doing? I mean, yeah, social media attacks can be a thing, but if there is no legal consequences, why do they care? Paying customers have the final say. Unless the law tells you, no, we have the final say. And that's why I think that it's just an excuse, to be honest. And because they're in China, they cannot say bad things about the government or blame it on the government. So, you know. Anything goes. Yeah, that's very true. Happy Saturday, Bodoka. How you doing? Are you ready to continue Phoenix Wright? Which, by the way, this case is getting very interesting. Managing the facility in Lobotomy Corporation is starting to get unbearable. Really? Well, I'm glad I didn't play that game then. Unbearable in a good way? I don't know how that works. Unbearable is usually something that is way too much. Maybe the better word would be overwhelming. Like it's hard and a bit stressful. Maybe overwhelming would be the better word than... Because unbearable is something that you don't wanna do. It's like, oh, I don't wanna do this. Overwhelming is something that is too much, but not necessarily something that you're not willing to do. This game really makes you feel like you're managing a facility full of deadly monsters. Yeah, overwhelming. Does it give you the sensation of being lobotomized? Well, in theory, you are lobotomizing people. I think. I don't know, I have never played the game. But it would be weird if the game made you the lobotomized. No, we are not lobotomizing people? Oh, you are lobotomizing monsters then. Well, Trickle is lobotomizing me. Well, that's a statement. There is a reason for the name, but it's not something we actively do in the game. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I've been trying to explore more of Valheim. I still have no idea what the F am I doing. I am doing, but I don't know. Valheim feels like very bare bones. There is many things that are confusing. The fact that some recipes only unlock after you equip the hammer, or only after you, for example, cook something, and it's like, oh no, you can do this. It is weird. It feels weird. And there is no... I don't know. but to give an idea of the overwhelming aspect, different monsters have different triggers for them breaching containment. Okay. That sounds like a hassle, because maybe some monsters need... I don't know how the game goes, but just as I picture it in my mind, maybe you have monsters that need loud sounds to feel calm, and then you have monsters that hate loud sounds, and you have to strike a balance to keep the loud neithers calm without altering the silence neithers. Early on it's simple stuff, like getting bad result during the care procedure. I see. Then it's false advertising. Let's be honest, we are just assuming stuff through the name. But later it might be them breaching when too many things die in the facility. And that means anything. Oh. So a plant dies, it counts for the trigger. Damn. That sounds annoying. Well, you know what is not annoying? Phoenix Wright, so let's start gaming. We can still talk about the game, by the way. I just want to start gaming. Or when an employee is too strong, when an employee who's too strong works with them, they might get upset. Ooh. Yes, Phoenix time indeed, my friends. Phoenix time indeed. Order, order, order! Here you go, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Oh, okay, so we were here. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. The stone lantern, a lantern from the inner temple garden, was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge sitting there with that look on his face? I have my amazing dinner, crispy fried fish, salted egg sauce with salted egg sauce. Oh. What's wrong, Your Honor? What? Was that flame too hot? This lantern, there is something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood. It says Maya. It says Maya upside down. What? What? Why is Godot playing fool? Like, Godot didn't realize? What? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. Godot can't read? Oh, now that I think of it, didn't he say his vision was pretty bad? I think he mentioned when he talked about the thing that he has on his face, he mentioned his vision is still pretty bad. So maybe he couldn't actually read it. That would make sense. She must have written that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. It certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? I miss so much this stream, I have no idea where we are and how we reach here, Keck. Damn. What do you mean? What are we talking about? We're talking about the mess written in blood. No sense. This lantern. It's clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all. Yeah, because his visor is red. Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Yeah, so I remember right. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Doxnim was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to...
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Sister's iris cover up.
After Mysticalis died, I called out to Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge.
That's a lie.
Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to the Hasakura temple, and I used the sword to alter the way the gun looked.
Oh my god. So you moved the body?
Yes, I was raised at Hasakura temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Doxnim was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate. I believe you are looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so... there is a few things here, right? That... I think I'm gonna press a little bit more than usual here. So you waited until everything was over before making a move?
No, it's not like that.
She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't your job as the judge to mediate the argument? I'm starting to think that the judge may be even worse than I initially thought.
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that I finally dawned on her that it finally dawned on her what she had done.
Okay. So then you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey.
Yes, of course I did.
That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya, let alone her position.
Anyway, she was very special. She was a very special person indeed.
So, okay. Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself.
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow.
The snow, huh?
I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hasakura Temple and...
A snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hasakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part in question that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Let's talk about the tracks here, because in theory, by the time she left... Wait, can I check the weather report to see if I'm not remembering this wrong? To approx 10:50. Okay, so it would make sense. Where are we? Well, let's talk about the tracks. We're interrogating Iris. Hello, Black Lockhart, how are you? Happy Saturday. If you really did move her body by a snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented yesterday at the trial. And these tracks, are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was falling until I left Hasakura Temple.
I see. The snow was still falling, huh?
Then, when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about the testimony? It is very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Wouldn't that mean that the murder was after 11 PM? Because we had snow until 10:50, basically. In that 10-minute frame, it would be a little weird, right? In 10 minutes, everything happening in 10 minutes doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence, you see? Your Honor, I like the statement Iris just made to be added to the testimony, but doesn't it have something to do with the case? Does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Huh. This should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Wait. Did I miss the announcement? No, Mikan, actually no. I was waiting for most of the regulars to be here. So I think this is a good time. And man, it's nothing big, it's nothing important. It's just something that is consequence of something unfortunate that happened, but it's lucky because it will allow me to do something. So what is it? So for the past few streams I've been talking about how much I'm liking Octopath Traveler, and that I wish that I had been recording my gameplay from the beginning. So earlier this morning I started a new game and started recording the gameplay because I thought, okay, I'll do a pilot episode and see how it goes. But I feel so stupid about this because when I reached the first boss and I went to save the game, I overwrote my save game. So now I'm stuck with the new game. So I think that at this point I will just keep recording my gameplay and start doing this series I'm planning to do. And this series will be I hope it will go well, because Genius Sherlock Moment 101, yeah, but at the same time, for as dumb as I feel, I think that in a way it's lucky that happened, because now I have a real reason to replay the sections I had. Yeah, Octopath Traveler, what? Well, I'm Octo Uncle at this point, but what I'm planning to do, I hope the concept goes well. I think it's a very original concept and a very new, Octopath. It's a very novel concept because I don't watch that much YouTube either, but I think the idea is pretty original. So hopefully what I'm planning to do will go well. It's not meant to be like super high production or entertainment value. It's really meant to be something chill that you can watch and enjoy as if you were watching, as if you were letting the game play on auto. Well, I don't want to spoil it. So you're going to upload the videos? Yes, I'm working on the pilot episode. I hope to have it done soon. And I think it's gonna be very fun, so I would appreciate if when that comes out, you guys could show it some support, leave some likes, share it around, because I think it's going to be a very novel concept, and I'm putting a lot of work into it. Even though the final cut will look very simple, but there is a lot of work going into it. So yeah, I'm counting on you guys, and I hope you will enjoy it, because I think the game is fantastic, and I think the idea is pretty good. It will be very good content to chill to. So that's the first part of the announcement. The second part is that I hate when orders come on Sunday night, dang it, damn. Oh man. But yeah, the second part of the announcement is that next week, so from Monday to the next Sunday, that will be the last week of full-time Elden Ring because I think I grossly underestimated how much it would take me to actually progress in the game. I thought I would be able to progress faster, but I'm more ass at the game than I thought. So after next week, we are going to be doing 2 days of Persona and 2 days of Elden Ring, with Persona being Wednesdays and Fridays, and Elden Ring being Sundays and Mondays. So that's my announcements for today, guys. Now let's continue gaming. Okay, so I'm guessing here I have to present the weather data because she said by the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That means the murder took place after 10:50 p.m. If that were to be the case, it wouldn't line up. It just doesn't line up with the rest of the stuff, man. It feels weird. Also, Phoenix made a very strong point on this. So the game was hinting at this. I'm gonna trust my instinct on the game hinting this. The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can't see nothing faulty. What? Wrong? Unfortunately, we'll have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. What? Oh wait! I'm so dumb. If she dragged the body across the bridge after the snow stopped falling, when the music doesn't stop, it's over? Okay. So I think this is the one, because by the time, like, if lightning... So she said, yeah, that's a good question. What is the announcement? Sorry, wait. Phoenix Genius 102 strikes back. Okay, so this is the thing. She said after the snow had stopped. That means after 10:50, but the lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45, which made it catch on fire. So these do not line up. So it has to be here. The announcement, to put it quickly, I started a new game on Octopath Traveler to record the gameplay, to do a pilot episode and see how it would go, but by mistake I saved over my current save, so I'm stuck with the new game, so I will start doing Octopath Traveler videos. I think the concept I have in mind is pretty novel and I hope it goes well. And the second part of the announcement is that next week is the last full-time week for Elden Ring. After that, Wednesdays and Fridays will be Persona 5 Royale days. That's pretty much the cliff notes of it. Okay, let's present this here. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. He wants us to watch Octopus Simulator or whatever, Octopath Traveler. Sherlock started watching Ray Zero, starting from the beginning. Gotcha, yes. I hope it's gonna be fun, guys, and I really hope you guys will support my idea. It should be really good. Phoenix wrong? No, it's fine. The music stopped, so it should be fine. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. Octopath has to be an octopus game. Octopus Simulator. But I'm sorry, Iris, that isn't possible. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed the Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge? It was on fire?
Charlotte girly voice shocked me. In a good way or in a bad way? Am I doing a good girly voice? Octopad is part of the Square Enix kinda descriptive title of a simple logo, kinda descriptive title and simple logo series? Yeah. You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? I'm watching Phoenix after a long time, I guess. It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? But it can be. It can be.
It looks like you still haven't figured it out. Whoa, this girl is in poor red clothing. What? No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. You mean Iris? Order! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. I just typed Octopad Traveler and there is a girl with revealing red clothes. Oh, Primrose, the dancer. I have not met her yet. I was about to meet her in my previous save data before I overwrote it. She works in the Pleasure District. She's a dancer that works in the Pleasure District of Sunshade. I've been reading through the stuff a lot in the game, so alright, romance her now. Well, if that's possible, when we get to the point, we may do that. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There is no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. What kinda turned me off of Octopad was learning that the characters have their own stories and they don't really travel together, if it makes sense. Well, that's wrong. I don't know where you got that impression about it, but they actually do travel together. They each have their own story, but when you pick your main character and you go meet the other characters, they tell you their story and then they tell you, are you really willing to help me? And then they join you and you are traveling together with your party because you helped them and now they are part of your group. I mean, they are in the same party, yes, and they have intermissions when they talk to each other. They don't have a common goal, well, as far as I have played though. Remember, I haven't played through all of it. But other characters do not take part in non-intermission stories of other characters. At least that's what I heard. I don't know. Maybe we'll be able to confirm or deny that later when I do chapter 2 of a character, because up to the point I was before I saved over my save, characters like chapter 1 are very much focused on introducing that character. So it makes logical sense that you don't get to see interactions between them in those scenarios. Looks like Bodok is wrong. all he'll lose is $200 for that. Nah, it's fine. But it also would make sense that characters do not interject on story beats that are of a particular character, because you have 8 different stories. If you have to develop dialogue for each character on each other character's story, and interactions between each character in each scenario for each individual story, it would be horrible. It would get too messy. So I think that characters not interjecting in other characters' chapters makes more narrative sense. You gotta start pushing the public, Sherlock. I think Final Fantasy games. Think of Final Fantasy games though. Yeah, but they have a cast of characters that is fixed. In Octopath, you can change your party around at will. So it would also break continuity if, for example, you do chapter 2 of a character with a set party, and then when you get to chapter 3 you have another party. But those characters in the party for chapter 3 have no relevance to what you did in chapter 2, so how do they know what's happening in chapter 3? There is no continuity. Because you have 8 different people, so I think it's for narrative sense. The dancer stays? Well, it depends. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the format. Well, maybe when my series comes out, you will see the game, how the game plays, and then you can make a decision. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean a squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but... Whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are 2 facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elistoc's Nim was discovered in the Hasakura Temple courtyard, and second, the head nun, Sister Bikini. Witness Iris desecrating Elistoc's Nim body. He makes a good point on both accounts.
That's right, I'm not lying.
What? What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy.
You have stood at the witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It's only human to err. At least there is tavern talks and such, yes. If you are so perfect, right, maybe you can explain this to the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burned down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way to get across the burned bridge. Unless I can somehow demonstrate it, well, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you are in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
This will be her final testimony? Moving the body.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move. There's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. On this part? This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it had burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to crisp. Wait a second. Am I going crazy here? One of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing, the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly it would be impossible to carry corpse across the bridge in this condition. Dusky Bridge photo added to the court record. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. Right, I'm only going to say this one more time. It's only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors in our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination, your final cross-examination. I want to look at that picture a little more. I'm gonna save because we took damage. Remember this phrase? I feel like there is something missing here. Isn't one of the... Isn't there only 3 wires? Shouldn't be there 4 wires? Like, you have 1, 2, 3, but where is the 4th wire? Shouldn't be there a 4th wire here? I'm just counting everything I see here. And then you have 1, 2, 3. Like 1, 2, 1, and there is 1 missing here. You have 1, 2, 1, and you have 1 missing here. I'm pretty sure there is a wire missing. If not, yeah, there has to be a wire missing here. It would be the only logical explanation. I don't know how that changes anything though. I think it has to do something with the wiring. What else do we have about the bridge? Larry's sketch. We have this about the bridge too. Well, Larry draw both wires. But these wires, they look weird. Wait, no, actually. Okay, so the wire that is hanging down is this wire, isn't it? But this wire is missing in the photo. It's not entirely missing? So this wire has to be the one that was hanging here. But the one that's hanging on this side is not. And hello Astrodude, welcome. It has to be something with the wiring. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Assuming North is up on the map, Larry saw the north wires and the broken one is southeast. Larry was here. Actually, 1, 2, 3, and you can see the fourth missing here. So yeah, there is one wire missing. This is Larry. And he said he saw her flying. Maybe it has to do something with the wires. There is a missing wire here. It has to be something to do with the wiring. Also, when we were investigating, we saw the knob that dumbass of Francisca thought it was for parking ships. She asked if this was ever a port, but that was the knob for the wire, the tension wire. So it has to be something with the wire. Well, let's pressure a little bit since we can. Yes, but if snow had already stopped when the incident took place,
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think just like Mr. Godot said, the body did make it across somehow.
But you seem to be quite sure yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry I was wrong.
Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? This is no joke. You are giving a sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Well, naturally it was...
You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it?
But if it had been some kind of a special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring on the day of my elementary school graduation.
Objection.
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, right? What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that statement, let's see proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Can I be dumb? You know what? It has to be. It has to be. They are talking about a way to cross the bridge while on fire. There is a missing wire. It has to be this. Of course, you can cross the bridge by flying. Exactly. I think it has to be this. This is a game. Game logic. Stupid shit happens. Stupid crap happens. Gonna get a cookie, 1 second. Okay, have my cookie out of the bag. The bag is too noisy, that's why I muted the mic. A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Huh. You're saying it's possible, don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. He could have said out of your ass, but you know. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous. Who is it? Who is this witness? I can chicken out here. I gotta keep on the track and go, go, go. Miss Elixir's name, brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Loristock's name. Brilliant, highly gifted. Apprentice? Apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the mountain shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he had witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today is not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming the victim flew through the air? Are you using this pathetic scribble to support your argument? The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Huh. Well tried, there is nowhere for you to hide. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Wright should have said, like there was lining on the day witnessed a murder while in college. Yeah, that would have been a little better. Listen, I know your tricks. You're going to try to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why did Godot say that? Oh, that's the hint, the game hint. The sketch is actually upside down, because the tension wires are hanging from below the bridge. So Iris was not flying above the bridge, but under the bridge. She was swinging like a you know, like in the jungle with a bind, swinging the rope and going to the other side. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? Spider-Man style? Yeah, something like that. I don't think the old whisker face is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think over it. This sketch, drawn by Loristock's name, is a complete contradiction, I guess, because it's upside down. The tension ropes are up and there should be down, so it has to be a complete contradiction. Because if it was exactly what happened, evidence of nothing would go against me. Exactly what happened would not support my claim, A complete contradiction is the only one that makes sense. It has to be that one. Something is obviously funny about this sketch, except there wasn't, though it was raining. I'm no critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Loristo's name stated over and over that this sketch was exactly what he saw. Oh, but his head was backwards. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then this sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality?
This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to the finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Wright. What is that? Okay, it has to be the wiring. I'm gonna pick the wire. Is this wire connected to the bridge? The wire. Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality. Show us the reality supposed to conflict with. Show us something that will... Well... It has to be the Dusky Bridge photo. It has to be that. Where is it? Yeah, it's this, because you can see the wires are down here. They're hanging from here. That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In this sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge, jumping Jehoshaphat, the wires are below the guard wires. Blech. Order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. It should be the other way around, no? No, it's fine. However, isn't it likely that the artist was just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you are just wrong. With someone like Loris, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then, that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Shoot, I guess I'm bad at remembering weather too. Remember what Loris was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. And he waited and finally laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now, ponder what sort of position Loris must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back. I can see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. This is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Oh. No way. Loristo's Nim witnessed the event while he was lying on his back face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you're finally getting it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Loristok's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. Yeah. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Order! All of the things to say, a pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across the other side. A pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple. It's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover up that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope that is at least 10 yards long. To get that rope that long, you have to plan ahead. Not really. Lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. So it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, I'm guessing now but they didn't have to get the rope ready. So I'm guessing now the rope that has been bothering me for a while, this one is going to be our proof. But they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already tied right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? Well, I'm guessing it's this, so I'm gonna go with this. And the meaning of this is, if you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elistok's body. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. How deep is that freaking coffee mug? Mr. Godot. He's still drinking! Is the infinite coffee mug? What? It seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my questions. It seems that the odds of the rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that is not an impossibility after all. Possible or impossible, that's not the question we need to ask. There is only one question: did that really happen? Right, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Actually we do, because if you remember, and it's obviously this, I cannot check it, but well, it's written there. Body fell 10 feet after death. So yeah, when when the body was swung across the bridge, and it came loose from the rope, it fell to the ground. And that's why the body fell after death. It has to be the autopsy report. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see the one that was in front of the inner temple. Let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor, yeah. We can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple. So then, that was the spot where the criminal... Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map. Again. If the body was pushed from this point here... Copyright claim? True. Well, I didn't sunk it though. It will drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests the body dropped some distance.
What? What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after death. Almost said catch the body on the floor. What? 10 feet, huh? That's almost likely the height difference between the two sides. The body swung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal is the one that came off Miss Elixtus Nime's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found... Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright. I thought this cold coffee might help you cool down. What's the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? You are going to get a battery charge. Now that I think of it, Phoenix is victim of battery every freaking case. Why are they not catching battery charges left and right? And when I say they, I mean Karma and Godot. That was dark and bitter. That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, right? But you forgot about one thing. Oh, and what that may be? The aroma. Huh? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you said, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. Yeah, that's Bikini. An accomplice.
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Wright?
Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor.
The body couldn't have made it to Hasakura Temple without an accomplice. Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Wait. Actually, the badge? No, not now. Not now. I cannot save here, so not now. Okay, so here is my theory. We know that Iris was on Hasakura Temple at the time of the murder because Bikini saw her in Hasakura Temple. So the question is, who was on the other side? Well, we know it must have been someone channeling Dahlia. No, it cannot be Pearly though. Pearly channeling Dahlia? No, it couldn't be Pearly. Okay, so let's start with the first thing. I think that the answers have to be Iris and Dahlia. But I don't know how to connect Dahlia. So I'm hoping I can get the game to solve that for me. It has to be that. Because they are twin sisters. So if someone channeling Dahlia, because remember that the Kurain channeling technique doesn't change the hair color of the channeler. It only changes the face and physical appearance. Like the body, face and body, but not the hair. So the only person that could have done it though is Pearly. But it couldn't have been Pearly. Well, here goes nothing. Those who know, it can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? But
I don't see why are you so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her back, Sister Bikini could have never picked up a body like that. You are the only one that could have managed it.
Right. Were you even listening to the witness testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on clean-up duty in the inner temple garden after the mother and daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hasakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch, drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved by using the burnt out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred. Something you should have known already.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. And so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What?
So this is Dahlia?
How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What kind of nonsense is this? You are saying this witness isn't Iris of Hasakura Temple.
Are you serious, Wright? You mean this woman is?
Yeah, okay. So we have been talking to freaking Dahlia. There is no one beside Iris who could have received that corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know what I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot? I never thought I have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister, and you are looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells, distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
It's just your imagination, Rams. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now, that case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne, and I'm a bastard, a demon, and I'm gonna burn the world. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What?
Order, order!
Wait a moment. How can you... My sister, she's already dead. What kind of...
You of all people should understand after all. The blood of the master of the Kurain channeling technique flows within that body. Kurain channeling technique. Now where I have heard that. That's right. You are not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You are the spirit of Dahlia currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium.
What an exciting story. Exciting but quite impossible. You are asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was.
Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes.
We are supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens.
Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written here. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay.
and part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hasakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words 10 PM. However, Iris was seen before dinner time.
That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. The meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Wright? This whole channeling spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans to talk about it. However, there is one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by the pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hasakura Temple main hall. There they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center.
Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Phew, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night.
I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switch places.
Switch places? To be perfectly honest, there is still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we can confirm the witness identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hasakura Temple, there have been many chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne. There was one actually when she was doing the logs, wasn't it? Because if I recall correctly, when she was being escorted by Edgeworth, it started to quake, right? There was an earthquake. Edgeworth lost her because he was in fear, and she ran away. In theory, she ran away to the inner temple, but I think that's where they switch places. And furthermore, new logs appeared right after that. So I'm guessing the switcheroo happened and then the logs appeared because they were trying to keep the body hidden. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris' whereabouts were unknown.
Unknown, what do you mean?
What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to, but
it wasn't your fault. The person... Okay, it has to be Edgeworth. Edgeworth. It's Edgeworth. This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake.
Earthquake. Oh goodness. The inner temple. This kind of tremor might.
how could I have? She fled, she escaped.
We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would
Be quiet.
It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
I guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm my current profession. Permanently retired.
So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I, after all I'm dead?
There is really nothing that you can do to punish me.
Just the devil, man. What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again. And I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time I'll end it for her and for myself.
To be continued? No. To be continued now? What do you mean? To be continued right now? Oof, guys. What a case, isn't it? What a case. Oof.
February 10th.
February 10th. Stream is over, guys. What are you talking about? We still have time, and today we can keep going for a little longer. So don't go saying stupid stuff, Black Lockhart. We have time and a little more.
February 10th, 1:06 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7.
Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness?
Yes. How can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems that if we were to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown.
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about that plan that was carried out that night. It's amazing that they are still taking Dahlia for her word. Oh yeah. The plan. Wait. When she has just been lying for the entire testimony, indeed.
The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay?
Yes, you have a problem with that?
Don't give us the... No. Watch yourself, Wright. If you got a problem, solve it during the cross-examination. That's one of my rules.
Mr. Godot is correct, and by the way, that's one of my rules as well.
To kill Maya? Could it be true? No!
That's BS. Let me...
No, that's absolute BS.
It says...
Gravely roast the master. Wait a second. The current master, though, is Maya. And how could they have ever known? Wait, but how?
What?
I am so confused. No, wait a second. Okay, let's recall to what Pearly told us, right? She said that on her last visit to her mother, she told her about this letter, but when she found it, it had already been opened before. And Pearly only booked that vacation, well, not vacation, but that trip with Maya there after reading the letter. So in theory, they couldn't have been targeting Maya because they didn't know that Maya would be there if that happened only after the letter. Unless because Morgan knew that by Pearly booking with Maya, Maya would be there. That would... Well, I think the truth will unfold itself in a bit. The whole plan began with my death. Okay. You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see, so when you discussed the plan. So that's when you discussed the plan.
Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearly Fay the master of Kurain.
She's a cold, twisted woman.
She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
A plan, huh?
A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master.
You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct?
Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us.
You and your twin sister Iris.
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Abandoned?
The only person I ever really cared about in my life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I was convinced by my father to leave her at an old temple.
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
How horrible. How horrible.
The really horrible one is that woman bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Fortunately for her, Morgan Fay heaped all over her broken hopes and dreams onto the poor child's back. All because her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first need to die.
Maya would have to die. But why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master, the remaining descendants of the master had to have been taken care of.
But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya.
How sad, you still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all.
That's ridiculous.
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fay as well.
How could anyone do that? You were going to kill Maya?
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me.
I'm gonna need a new heart? Why?
Then I could have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there is nothing any of you can do to me.
So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, on Sister Iris of Hasagura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical, no one can tell us apart.
Imagine if next VA anniversary had dress Hibiki. That's what's happening in the moment. What? Do you really like this character that much?
Naturally, they would think it was Iris that had done it.
And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hasakura Temple that night. But she would not have seen Iris' crime anyway.
But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your own twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstabber?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway, the plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
PR is releasing my #1 and the leakers are showing everything and more. And the more I see, the more my heart can take it. She's so cool. Oh, I see. You think the plan was a success?
You heard me. Just as the woman who had hoped, Maya faced death. Now the title of the master will pass on to Pearl Faye.
That's absurd. Maya is she's just trapped inside the sacred cavern.
Really? You're as foolish optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Finny. Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I despised you. Your sniveling naivety and your pathetic faith in other people. I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Faye's plan? I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of. If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that. Then why? Tell me why. Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself, for my own personal satisfaction. What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead. Do you understand why I would kill Maya? Now, what was my goal?
I'm kinda confused. I think to get revenge on Mia, because Mia got her arrested and executed. Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Faye. No, that's not it, you dumbass.
Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious.
So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal.
All I wanted to do was kill Maya Faye. That was the only way I could think that was the only way I could think of to get revenge.
Okay, revenge. It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe she meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head, and I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan, and what she was after as well. Okay, I'll save. I present the badge. I know I have to present Mia because she was talking about revenge, but I will show the badge. It is never the badge. So do you want me to present it or not? For the fans of it? For the lols? Or should we just keep moving? I know it's never the badge. Nah, not really? Okay. So let's go and present Mia. Could it be that your actual god had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I am already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can punish the dead, and you can take revenge against them either.
Show her the child maker? What? It's like when people scream for bands to play Paranoid. Oh. You wanted to take revenge on someone.
I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey.
I somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation, and I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible, was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes, and I realized there is only one way to take revenge against the dead.
And how do you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit and the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved the most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with this woman's plan.
Just for that you would kill Maya. Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey.
Oh, as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan, cruel, cold and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you there is nothing you can do to me.
Ah.
That night, about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair and put on a demon warding hood.
Well, but you're a demon.
Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hasakura Temple.
So it was Elixir's Nim who channeled her after all?
What?
Then it was suicide?
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left my Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back.
What did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and...
It was shot down. She did it to herself. So then you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory.
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
Oh, I see. So, Mystic Elise channeled her, and when she was about to stab Maya, she stabbed herself because she was trying to stop Dahlia from stabbing Maya. And therefore they lost the connection. That's why she was unchanneled. You were stabbed.
And at the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork.
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. Before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. And I hope that would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
That's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops.
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern?
The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there.
But how did you...
But how did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead, and I thought I wouldn't return to the underworld until I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
The trick lock stopped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this sacred cavern?
Yes, and I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
What? Who?
Could it be? Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only 2 people have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearl went to cover the hanging scroll in gravy.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather. The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct? Naturally I couldn't go out. So instead I returned to the cavern and put the lock on myself. I realized I couldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But then Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck?
After that big earthquake, she showed up, all by herself.
The real Iris?
She said she'd come to make sure the secret cavern was alrighty.
Stupid girl.
I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place.
Oh, I knew it! She was the one setting up the 5 locks.
I had finally learned exactly what happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean? Your plan had succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing. you see. That night, the one who had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fay.
Well, of course, you would have been assumed that it was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fay, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was found left lying there. Maya Fay. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. Even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is...
Matridice, the sin of killing her own mother.
No way!
Matricide.
Order in the court. What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fay. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out my Misty Fay's life was none other than your little darling little Maya.
Ridiculous! That's nonsense.
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There is evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What do you mean?
What is this so-called evidence? The fact that Maya Fay has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there is only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River.
Eagle River.
Maya Fay killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. The bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So what do you have to say now, Finny?
I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Can you... I'm gonna kill you, bitch.
But I'm already dead.
Oops.
Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? Got it here. Okay, thanks.
What is something important? Was it something important?
They just finished removing the logs from the sacred cavern.
That's great! What about Maya?
There was a woman in that cave.
Was it Maya Fay?
It was the Q's, Sister Iris.
Huh? Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
Wait a second. Isn't her hair dark like Maya's hair? And the Magatama is purple like Maya's Magatama. Is Maya channeling her to make her confess everything? Is this Maya? That's why she hasn't seen Maya. Finally you got it, mate? This has to be Maya. Could Maya be that smart? Yes. It has to be Maya. The Magatama, the hair color. Maya has not been seen anywhere. This has to be Maya. Because otherwise, where is Maya? So what about Maya? Where is she?
There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern.
No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
So who went down the river though? No one went down the river. Maya did not throw herself in the river. It seems that this case has come to an end, a tragic end. I refuse to believe this is the end, though. This cannot be the end. Sadly, it appears that the killer of Elistox Nim, also known as Misty Faye, was her own daughter, Maya Faye. I don't believe that. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Faye jumped to her death in the raging waters of Eagle River. Maya's Magatama is orange, but she could have changed her cloth and jewelry pre-channeling. That's true. Maybe she changed for the training. Maybe when she went to the inner temple for training, she changed her clothes. It can't be. I'm sure it can be. Ha.
Right, have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem.
What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot?
According to this witness, Maya Faye threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth?
Oh, thank God.
Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted, right? Just relax and think through the whole thing again.
So it's impossible. Is it impossible? It's true, it's impossible. The bank is way too large. The only way for her to jump would have been by going like far onto the sides. If she jumped from here, she would have landed on the ground, and there was no way for her to jump into the river. And if that was the case, her body would have been spotted immediately. So it is impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River? Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Faye threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? It has to be this one, right? It has to be, because we just saw it. It's impossible. The land bank is way too large. It's impossible to jump into Eagle River from the inner side of the temple. No one knows that better than this witness.
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. And just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff, on the inner temple side, is a big rock shelf. Oh, you're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. You finally figured it out.
You... No.
Order!
You're just playing with me. My face body is at the bottom of Eagle River. There is nowhere else she could possibly be hiding.
Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We know that she didn't throw herself into the river. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there is still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So where is she? Where is her dead body then?
It's in this very courtroom. It's her. Maya is channeling her. It's Maya. I finally think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is in this very instant? Is in this very courtroom. It has to be. There is only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom.
What?
You say she's here in my courtroom? Yeah. Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
But I think there is one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who's channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Why that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt.
You're wrong. Pearl tried, but she couldn't do it.
I failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it happened.
Isn't there an explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did. But who?
Pearl even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer that you right about now, am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. And that's Maya. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There is only one possibility left. Come already. I can't stand this detention. Dahlia Hawthorne. The person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey.
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal.
She said her goal was to kill Maya Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her...
Well, Rams, what could happen?
Could it be? It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. What are you going about?
What I'm going about is the reason Maya channeled you. There is only one reason. To protect herself from you.
To protect herself? From me?
Yes, on the night of the crime you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hasakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean that's when she channeled me?
All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls, and that's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you.
No, don't say that. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp. Maya Fey killed herself. Isn't it obvious?
Sorry, but no, it would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that, who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea?
Well, me, of course. Mia? Oh boy!
Mia Fey!
Queen? Indeed.
It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
I didn't have my... wait. Sorry. I know. A generational fumble as always.
So it's true, it was you.
Yes.
You're something else.
But what? What are you doing here?
That hair. It's Pearls, right? Look at this dude's face. Yeah.
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple garden, and then the final moments you lost you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
Not even gonna say hi to his girlfriend? Yeah.
She did.
Not terribly surprising, since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was...
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean?
It was against a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the cavern until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearly Fae.
Pearls?
Yes, Pearl did not properly understand the plan. All she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs.
Yes, it certainly sounded like that was the intent all along.
How dare you? I won't forget this.
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another? Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes. Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. What? How dare you? 11 years ago, the fake kidnapping, your very first crime, you got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but after Terry Folles escaped and went to meet Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed. Shut your mouth, that wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oath of a prisoner and that wiggling of a policewoman. And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but you would end up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. Ha! It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You wipe that smug happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Faye escape. Holy Auralos? Yeah. Even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Faye. Mia Faye. Mia Faye. You spinster. I was supposed to kill Maya, like I swore I could.
And if only you had gotten that spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death. True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say?
I'm amazed they are taunting Dahlia like this. Well, I think it's not over. I think the big reveal will be that the reason she lost consciousness is because Elise, she took her own life.
Whether you're alive or dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all eternity.
I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said
even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope of freedom, since the day you were executed. The narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burned to a crisp. You are wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want, Ghost Roast indeed, is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. What the F? I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go. Maya! Oh my god, I'm so happy to see Maya.
Nick, sis.
Imagine if she had gone. Well, if I'm in Maya's body right now, yeah. For a second I thought she would. For a second I thought I would. She could said something along the lines like, yeah. Yep, she's okay. Now then. I assume you are the real Iris.
Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say, you and your twin sisters are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to hell. To the hell she came from.
It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye as well as the young Pearl were also victims of this wicked, selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of a medium valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempts was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it?
Don't be stupid. About this Holy Spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now.
Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study upon the Kurain channeling technique.
Isn't that the New Year Occult issue of All Occult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different, and it takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand the world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, wait, first time the judge is actually pretty sage. It's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hasagura Temple.
Objection!
You are a little too fast with that cavil, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot?
This trial isn't over yet. That's what he means.
What? Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony. What? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in the front of the stone mantle.
I'm just not going to reread this because this is Chi blaming it on Maya, okay? We don't have a killer yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to boil down to self-shutdown, if you know what I mean.
Just as Daddy Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Sorry, that was...
The person that was ultimately killed was the person that channeled Dahlia. Elistock's Nim. No Misty Fae. No Misty Fae. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it.
This isn't over! But you know what is going to be over now? Okay, guys. I still have 15 more minutes. So, I think that I will continue those 15 more minutes until I will continue until we hit a save point or those 15 more minutes pass. So let's see what happens first. If we hit a save point or the 50 minutes. What are you talking about, guys? I'm telling you, I'm going to go for 15 more minutes or until we hit a save point. There's still not time for goodbyes.
Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can let her walk until there is evidence that proves her innocence.
No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Fae.
Indeed. To be honest, not sure how long it takes, but okay. Yeah, like I said, either until 6:30 PM my time, so 13 more minutes, or save point. Whatever happens first.
Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor?
Of course alright, Madame Attorney.
Very well then. Who is the final witness?
Isn't it obvious? There is one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case.
Someone who saw the murder take place.
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes.
You mean Maya?
You can't. She can testify after what she's been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand.
Oh my god. Very well. Very well. But first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey Wright, I got something to say to you, so listen up.
What is it?
I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow manage to just squeak by, even without a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time you're going to have to do this by yourself.
Huh?
That's enough.
That's enough. This court is now in recess.
Okay, so we hit the save point, I guess. Oh, never mind.
February 10, 2:56 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day, and we didn't even have the chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, the evidence pretty much tells you who the killer is. It was self-shot down. What are you talking about? When she was about to stab Maya, Misty Faye took control of her own body and stabbed herself. It's either that or Bikini. Like, Bikini was going back, in theory, quote unquote, going back to the temple and left Iris alone. So in that moment, she could have stabbed Elise. It's either Bikini or self-shutdown, either or. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today, to root on you.
We've seen channeling. Channeling is on-off thing. It's not like a 100 meter. What? Oh, I guess you didn't really pay attention to something that repeated itself. No, I understand that. You'll have a blast then. You either channel somebody or not. No, I understand that. But wait a second. Bikini stabbed Dahlia because she thought, because she wanted to protect Maya. So if she could have kicked Dahlia off, why would she kill herself afterwards? No, it was Bikini. Bikini defending Maya. It had to be Bikini. It had to be Bikini. Bikini was trying to protect Maya because it's their duty to protect the master of Kurain. Bro cooking straight poison? Ah well, I'll figure it out as we go. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There is something more important than that. Though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you hadn't tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent the entire day locked up in there.
My sister. I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by our mother, and she never got any love from our father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hasakura Temple, she wouldn't have been a selfish bastard. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about anything. That's why I promised her that I could help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping 11 years ago?
Yes, I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up. That was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people, you must mean.
Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando Maradona. After the poisoning, Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth.
So Dahlia poisoned Armando. That's why he said he came back from the dead. After poisoning Mr. Oh my god.
Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You!
That's right. Iris, there is one more thing that I have to ask you.
What is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Tosnim. Wait, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. After 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone.
There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away.
I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but the path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
Exactly.
We can just leave the body here.
So you have to go to do this exactly as I said. Got it? It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much.
Okay, so that's
the stuff that Mystic Elise always held.
I knew it! So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hasakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know the stuff was the murder weapon. But I didn't want to leave anything that could lead back to Misty Faye.
What?
So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the sword. I whipped the blood of the staff blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone, the real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can say who did it.
I see. Victim staff updated in the court record.
Defendant,
Yes,
the judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers.
What?
He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
all right. Well then, I'll see you later. There is something I want to tell you.
Okay, something she wants to tell me.
I'm bearing your child.
What? So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix? Mia? How's Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. You don't mean she learned who Listok's name really was?
Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it, all of it.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure out the answers by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer, do you know who is it yet?
Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still.
I mean, the only person that could have the name, the phone number. What? What? It cannot, no way. Pearly? Could it be that it was Pearly? Nah, it's not Pearly. Unless... Wait... The evidence tells everything. Wait a second. You are not telling me... No. Guys, stop. You are not going to tell me that the real murderer is none other. Should I say it? Should I say it? Who is it? It's this dude. They are doing a repeat from the Von Karma case. They are repeating the Von Karma case. It's going to be this dude. Because this dude... Something happened in this game and it's repeating itself. Yeah. It has to be him. Like, when it was... First it was Von Karma. And now it's this. Because the repeating itself, something happened. It has to be him. You hinted at it too hard, guys. I think it's him. Well, whatever the case may be, we will figure it out on the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. With that said, guys, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And I'll see you all tomorrow for another episode of Elden Ring. Have a good rest of your day or night. Continue? Ah, man. I cannot. I have to go, man. Have a good rest of your day or night.
Bye bye.